everyone! Today I'm going to create my own flags that are a spin-off of the Dear Lizzy's Lovely Day collection and their flags. So for this embellishment, you'll be needing some toothpicks, some glue, a pair of scissors, some small scrap pieces of paper, and I found these really cute banner ones. And then I also used washi tape for my flags. It's actually a lot easier to use washi tape than paper. And I'll show you in a little bit why. So in my own stash, I found these cute cutouts with sentiments that already were on them. I think this one is specifically from the confetti collection, and that's a crepe paper collection. So I decided to just cut up those little banners and use them as part of my flags. As you can tell in this little cut up of the banner, there are already little niches for the banner ends, but I still like to fold the strip of piece of paper first and glue it on the stick and then make the little banner ends after I have glued everything together, because it just lines up better so that you have both ends of the paper with the same kind of banner end. You don't need that much glue for these little banner strips. All you need is to add a little bit in the middle so that it sticks to the toothpick, and then just a little bit on the ends to glue the two sides together. I'm using this fine glue applicator to just add the tiniest bit of glue onto these strips for the banner. I've ended up setting them aside to let them dry a little bit before I continued adding more little flags to it. If you look at the Dear Lizzy Lovely Day flags, you'll notice that they have 4 banners on each toothpick. I don't necessarily follow this, but my first few I did have 4. My toothpicks aren't very long, so sometimes I think it looks a lot better with just maybe 3 or even 2 flags on it, so it doesn't look crowded with all these pieces of papers on it. Right now I am adding some washi tape, and I enjoy using the washi tape because there's already adhesive on it. So all you have to do is wrap the washi tape around the toothpick and make sure your tape lines up and that there is no sticky part left over once you fold it over. It really helps speeds up the process for creating these embellishments because you don't need to cut up sheets of paper and then glue them individually. Now, you can use more strips of paper for this embellishment, and I'm doing that right here because I think the best part about using these flags are to use up those little pieces of scraps that you have and put them into good use and create these flags. Washi tape is also flexible in the sense that you can have any kind of width you want. If you think the washi tape that you're using is too wide, you can definitely cut them in half or trim off a quarter so that you have the exact width that you want to use. There were a few rolls of washi tape that I had selected to use for this project, and I thought they were a little too wide, so I just took a pair of scissors and cut them in half and used only half of it on a flag. Another key element to making these flags is the different lengths that the banners end up being. I think it adds a lot of variation if you have different lengths. Some could be longer than others. You could have them at the same lengths, but there's a lot more interest if you have different lengths in your banners. I also like using different widths for the banners, and that's why I end up using a variation of washi tape and paper in my flags. My color combinations for these flags aren't the same as the ones in the Dear Lizzy collection because I've decided to play off the colors of the flags with the sentiments versus trying to match the Dear Lizzy collection and their color combinations. Regardless, I think it looks really pretty as long as you put colors that you like together. then you can make them in any color that you want. Like I mentioned earlier, the Dear Lizzy collection usually has 4 banners to a flag. I like to at least have 3, and if you want to add it to the entire toothpick, you're more than welcome to do so as well. I sometimes start at the top of the toothpick and cover up the top portion of it, and sometimes I just start in the middle. So it just varies to however you want to do it. But now that I have all the little banners attached to the toothpick, I am taking my pair of scissors to cut out the little flag ends, banner ends to the pieces of paper and washi tape. You also don't have to do this to your flags. You can just leave them straight if you want. This is not a necessary aspect to these flags. I just think it adds a little more interest if you create the little flag ends. I just recommending doing this portion of the cutting at the very end so that you can decide how long or short you want to make your little flags. I also like to recommend that if you don't have those pre-made flags with the sentiments on them already, I just ended up taking my ink pad and a stamp and stamping my own sentiment on the sheet of paper. You can actually do the stamping before you even cut up the pieces of paper to become flags, but I just ended up doing it after deciding that I wanted to add a little more extra to my flag. So I hope this video inspires you to make your own flag. If you like this idea, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And I hope you have a crafty day.